Hello everybody, my name is Chandler's Page. Today I will review LEGO 8093 Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter. The set was released in 2010, and it retailed at around $20, and that's kind of the same as what I paid for it. I got mine secondhand, so you will see that some pieces aren't in perfect condition, but it's still in pretty great condition. The set contains two minifigures, which with Plo Koon and R7D4, and let me start off with those. So, the minifigures Plo Koon and R7D4. If we start with R7D4 and then go on to Plo Koon. Focus, yeah. R7D4, it's an astromech. It's kind of a minifigure if you can. Some people do, some people say it isn't. I will count it as one. It has a brown color scheme with a white head, white legs, as you can see, and I don't really have much to say about it except for the part that I like to have another astromech droid that isn't R2D2 or primarily white based. This is still primarily white, but not completely. So it's different. As you can see, on the front it has printing. On the back it doesn't, except for the dome head, like this on the top. But the more interesting figure we have is Jedi Master Plo Koon. This figure, you can see it has kind of some wear and tear, especially on the face. And I know that most of these figures of this have this problem. The torso print looks fine to me. It isn't quite as detailed as I would like, but it's not bad, to be honest. It's kind of just what it is. My lightsaber is also not the best one, but I have better ones to replace it with. And as for the head mold, although you can see it doesn't focus. As you can see, it is quite thin, but the detailing, as you can see, is there. There's a hard time focusing on a single minifigure, as I can see, but the detailing is there, and I quite like it for that. And as for the back torso print, there's nothing here. It's just the front, which is not as good as it could be, but good enough. So let's take a look at the Jedi Starfighter itself. And here we have the Starfighter itself. It is a primarily original basic blue coloring, and that's the first thing I have to say about it. The original, the source material, is more of a dark blue color. So, although I quite like this blue color, and it looks better in person, I think, than in photographs and in videos, it isn't 100% accurate. So there are some custom versions that have a better color scheme for it, and if you want a better color scheme, you might need to get one of those. But I do quite like it. Plo Koon is here in the cockpit. You have the astromech droid in the middle, and a place for his lightsaber on the side. There are also some stickers, where you have the stickers on these slow parts, and at the back with a similar but without the logo on the other. And the Republic logo right here, this is a print, however, so it doesn't. I would have liked more prints, but I'm not mad at it. So what I also quite like is how the shape that you can see, the stripes that are on the original, you can really see them quite well in the ship. The ship is also very durable. The only gripe I have is with my version is that this wing is a bit loose. It's probably because of the pieces that are used, and that they're just not perfect. And it's too bad because I don't have the other another version to repair it. Maybe if I get one in quite some time. Then I will replace it so it doesn't flop about, because the other side doesn't. But I quite like it. The shape is pretty good. It's maybe a bit bulky on the back and here, instead of the sleek that it should be. You can see this gap if you have it from this lower angle, but if you take it a bit higher, don't knock anything over, you can see it kind of fades away. Also here, the guns would probably be stud shooters around this time in a period, maybe even a newer kind of stud shooter that they have. As for the back, nothing interesting. What I do like about the newer ones, I don't have any of them, but I do like it, and kind of less with this one, is this big fin at the end of the ship. This is a really thin part, and so you wouldn't, it's pretty hard getting it aligned perfectly, especially if you like play afterwards and you knock it off. But let's take a look at the underside. As you can see, it has some landing gear, and this is it with its setup, so it has landing gear. You can fold it in to make it look a little bit better. A bit better like this, as you can see, where the landing gear is retracted, so it looks better whilst flying. You can hold it from the back. It's pretty durable, so nothing really would fall off. Maybe the fin in the back part could, because it's just held on with a little clip. But that's, well, it's not really bad. The one reason when you will find that it probably will fall off is when you try the function, the play function, which this set has. As you can see, there's this big knob on the bottom. Every Starfighter in this era had a little bit of play function. And if you hold it with one hand, which is possible to do, it just will mean that something will get knocked over. But you press it, and there goes Master Plo Koon. He's now out of the ship. He's rescued, which would have been handy at the point. And the spot for the astromech droid has two jumper plates, as you can see, where you can stand. Also, the interior, it has also three. It also has the controls with also 3 stickers. These two are identical on the sides, and one for targeting functions. And it uses the old windscreen piece, like the newer ones have a more round piece used for it. So let's go on to my final thoughts. Okay, so for my final thoughts, I really like this set. The first thing, for if it will need a remake, not really. With minor improvements you can make the set really good, and if you want a perfect one, you can find mocks which have every detail until the smallest parts perfectly available. And this set is perfect as is. Maybe a bit gripes with the back fin, but even if you have little gripes with it, you can just change some parts to make it more like your liking. The minifigures are pretty good. I think I want another Plo Koon, because it's been a while since we had one. But I think if you buy this set and you place it with your current sets, it doesn't look out of place. So, is it worth buying? I would say yes. If you find it, if you like what you saw, and if you can find it somewhere for pretty cheap, like about the price that it costs or less, definitely I would suggest it. If you want it, I would suggest it. The only problem that you might have is that the front looks a bit less good than it should. But that's just a small gripe I have. Maybe even the underside. But it's like on par, maybe even better than some current sets they have. And so I would recommend it. I don't really have anything else to say for this. So if you liked the video, please leave a like. And maybe even subscribe while you're at it. And I hope to see you in my next video. Until then. This was Jen's page, and I'll see you in the next one.